Good afternoon, folks. Today I want to show you how to use this progress tracker for Spark 3000 to track your progress and identify question types that might be difficult for you. This is to help with your reading comprehension skills. So we're going to follow the instructions here. The first instruction is to fill in the date on the date line. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm starting in October because I want to measure my progress from October 1st. So I'm starting with the first article that I've read in October. The first thing you're going to do is complete a multiple choice activity. So this student, for example, can find that by going to their Spark menu and choosing My Lessons. Here, you should filter so that you only see lessons where you've completed the multiple choice activities with the respond step. When you do that, you'll see your first try activity score there. This student actually hasn't completed any activities in October. Their activities are from September. So I'll go back and change the date. Okay, now that the date is correct, I might want to write the title of the article that was completed. So I'm going to check again in Spark 3000. That article was called The Art of Flamenco. So I'm going to try to write it in small letters down here. Notice that there's not much space to write titles, but do your best to label so we know that this whole column here is about the same article, The Art of Flamenco. Everything here will be about that. If we look at my data, it shows that my first try activity score there was 50%. So I can mark that either by putting an X here, or I can go ahead and make a bar chart. This will allow me to start to visualize my progress with my overall first try scores. The important thing for this document is that we're going to analyze the question types that I got correct or incorrect. And again, these are related to different reading comprehension skills, such as sequencing, finding the main idea, summarizing, etc. So to do that, I want to go back to my Spark 3000 data under My Lessons, where I filtered by respond, and I want to go into the article, The Art of Flamenco, and I want to go to the respond step, and here I can see the results from my activity. So in this case, the first question is related to the main idea of the article. So according to the directions in the progress tracker, I've already filled in the chart here with my first try activity score. Next, I want to put a check mark next to each question type that I saw in the activity. So main idea was the first question. I'm going to put a check mark there. Did that student get the question correct or incorrect? We can see from the X here that the student got this question incorrect. So they were not able to correctly identify the main idea of the article on their first try. Therefore, we're going to enter a minus next to that check mark. And we will continue this process for the other types of questions in the article. So the second question, Simone wants to know more about Albuquerque. She should look in a book about blank. What kind of question is that? If I look at the question types here, I might need to figure that out, and I might not be sure. Now, I think it's a reference source question because it's asking us where could she find, she should look in a book about blank to find more information about the city of Albuquerque. To understand the question types and the skills that they're related to, we have another document for you. This is linked for you in Schoology under General Class Information, in the Technology Resources folder, and the Spark 3000 subfolder, Question Types and Strategies. So here it will give us examples of the different types of questions and examples of how Spark 3000 asks those questions. So for main idea, you might see, what is this article mainly about? Or for fact and opinion, you might see, which of these is a statement of fact? Let's go down and find reference sources. These questions often look like this. Suppose Paul wants to find out about blank. He would find most of his information by blah, blah, blah. Or this article would be most useful as a source for student research project on blah, blah, blah. I think it's a pretty similar question to the one that we see here. Simone wants to know more about, she should look in a book about blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to come back to my progress tracker and I'm going to mark that I saw a question about reference sources. And that we got that question incorrect. Let's analyze one more question from the reading. Which of these is not a kind of flamenco performer? Well, this is asking about a detail that is not in the article. So it's asking me to go back and look at what kind of performers are not flamenco performers. Guitar players, singers, dancers. All right, so I'd be curious about that. This student was able to find that information and answer correctly. What kind of question is that? I believe it's a drawing conclusions question. Double check, I'm going to go back to this document in Schoology or the paper copy that I have. I'm going to look at drawing conclusions. Notice that we have the word not here. Which question is not answered by the article? So I guess Spark classifies these questions where you're finding some information that is not in the article as drawing conclusions questions. So I'll come back once again to my question tracker here, and I will mark that. Notice I used a plus sign because that student got that question correct. So this is how you can start to analyze your Spark scores. And after you do this with several articles over time, you will find different patterns. Maybe this student is consistently having trouble with main idea. If they notice they're getting most of the questions about the main idea incorrect, that is a reading skill that they need to work on. They can get some ideas for strategies for working on the main idea here. To answer questions that are about main idea and summarization, you can use these strategies. For example, look at each paragraph and identify topic sentences to help you figure out the main idea. Or, in your own words, state the main idea of the article. So, these are examples of some strategies you could use next time you're looking at a main idea question if you're having trouble with that skill. We'll stop there, and I want to wish you good luck using your Spark 3000 progress tracker with question types. Oh, and I forgot something. There is one more type of question called author's purpose. It's about why an author wrote the article or why the author included some information. So because this is not on the chart, we have to add it. And then students can notice if they're getting those types of questions correct or incorrect. Good luck once again.